The Bible contains the mind of God, the state of man, the way of salvation, the doom of sinners, and the happiness of believers. Its doctrines are holy, its precepts are binding, its stories are true, and its decisions are immutable. Read it to be wise, believe it to be safe, and practice it to be holy. It contains light to direct you, food to support you, and comfort to cheer you. It is the traveler's map, the pilgrim's staff, the pilot's compass, the soldier's sword, and the Christian's charter. Here, paradise is restored, heaven opened, and the gates of hell disclosed. Christ is its grand subject, our good, the design, and the glory of God, its end. It should fill the memory, rule the heart, and guide the feet. Read it slowly, frequently, and prayerfully. It is a mine of wealth, health to the soul, and a river of pleasure. It involves the highest responsibility, will reward the greatest labor, and will condemn all who trifle with its sacred contents. Pray it in, read it through, live it out, and pass it on.
And when we have accurate knowledge, we'll be able to go out and tell women, men, boys, and girls that Jesus Christ saves.
The spirit that's in you is to be innovative, to defy the odds, to go against the grain, to go against tradition, to do a new thing, to do a radical thing.
Well, it's a marvelous Monday and the day that the Lord has made, and certainly we rejoice and we are glad in it. I want to take this opportunity to welcome you to the Takeoff Prayer Call only on Facebook and YouTube. And I want to thank you for your daily commitment to prayer and seeking God as we endeavor to start today and each day the right way. What we know to be true is that time spent with God is never ever wasted, but it in fact always sets the tone, the pace, the tempo for our day, whereby we can boldly declare this day was made for me and I was made for this day. Come on, can you declare that this morning? This day was made for me and I was made for this day. And that's why I'm starting it off with igniting the flame. And I'm glad that God has given to us this evangelistic ministry that brings us this daily message of encouragement, of empowerment, igniting us as we go forth into our day. But even the more we are a movement of flame igniters in various cities and states across this country who collectively have taken the mandate from the Lord to creatively reach the least, the last, and the lost through the power of our talents, testimonies, and technology. And certainly each of you are a part of it. I'm in the airport this morning, but very quickly, I want you to share today's message. Share today's message. I want to be a blessing to as many people as possible in your sphere of influence, and I can't do it without your help. So if you would take a moment and do that. As you are doing so, continue to pray with and for me as we are traveling, headed to Progressive Union Baptist Church in Huntsville, Alabama. I'll be there tonight, tomorrow, and Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Central, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We'll be sure to share the links with you so that you can take part with us virtually. But if I have any of our Alabama partners that are in or near or can get to Huntsville, even Tennessee and Georgia, y'all join us as we prepare for a wonderful time together. Also, want to remind you that our administrative office is closed. However, our kitchen remains open to serve our community on today from 10:45 to 11:45. So I want to thank all of the volunteers that are helping to continue to keep that work going, even as we're giving our administrative staff the day to rest and reset. I want to share this word with you this morning, and our daily passage is found in Proverbs 19 and 17. Proverbs 19 and 17. What a wonderful service we had on yesterday. How many of you enjoyed it? Man, a wonderful, wonderful service. And if you didn't catch the message, make sure that you catch it. And we're gearing up for Scholarship Sunday, as well as recognizing all of our graduates. We're going to ask, as you see the appeals this week, to get information in. And even as you prepare to help us to award over $10,000 in scholarships on this coming Sunday, we are so very grateful. Proverbs 19 and 17 says, "Whoever is generous to the poor lends to the Lord, and he will repay him for his deed." Whoever is generous to the poor lends to the Lord, and he will repay him for his deed. I want to talk this morning. You can't carry everything. You can't carry everything. Now, although I knew that this would be our daily passage, I didn't really expect this passage to come alive in this way. I was trying to get from Pittsburgh to Huntsville early this morning. Everything seemed fine until it wasn't. I didn't even realize these are the lines after Independence Day. Lines long, clock is moving, pressure is building, and suddenly I found myself standing at a crossroad. I had to choose between getting my luggage on the flight or taking what I had with me and make the flight, because there were no more flights that could get me to Huntsville today if I missed this flight. So I'd choose between my luggage or my flight, my bags or my destination, my possessions or my purpose to bring forth the word this week at Progressive. Now, I kept trying to figure out how to do both. I kept trying to carry everything, but eventually I had to come to a decision that you will have to as well. You can't carry everything. My flight was leaving in 15 minutes. I had 15 minutes to make it through security. And here's what I ultimately had to realize. Some things can be replaced. Others cannot. I can get my bags later, even if I got to fly Lady Nisha or Sean or somebody in. Even then, I'm staying right by a mall. So I can replace my clothes, I can replace my shoes. But there was one thing I couldn't replace. I could not bargain or negotiate with time. You can't negotiate with time. You can't bargain with time. I couldn't ask the airline to give me another version of this morning. Once that flight left, that opportunity was gone. As I sat on the plane, God began to whisper, Courtney, many people spend their lives protecting their baggage while losing what matters most. And that was then, family, where Proverbs 19 and 17 opened up in a way I didn't think. Because generosity is more than money. Generosity is about what are you willing to release for the sake of something greater. You see, family, generosity requires release. Can you type that in the comments? Generosity requires release. Notice, Solomon says, whoever is generous to the poor. Now, notice the assumption. You cannot be generous without letting something go. Generosity always requires release. You cannot give while holding everything tightly. You cannot bless while clenching your fist. You cannot sow while refusing to release seed. Some of us want God's harvest without God's release. We want increase without investment. We want blessings without generosity. We want miracles without sacrifice. But every biblical miracle begins with somebody releasing something. The widow had to release her oil. The boy had to release his lunch. Peter released his boat. Abraham released Isaac. Jesus released his life. Every miracle starts with release. Please type that one word in the chat, release. So my question this morning is, what are you holding on to that God is asking you to release? Is it money? Is it pride? Is it unforgiveness? Is it fear? Is it control? Is it comfort? Because God cannot fill full hands. God cannot fill hands that refuse to open. And here's what I had to realize, that the destination is more important than the baggage. The reason I left the luggage was simple. The destination mattered more. The purpose mattered more. The assignment mattered more. The mission mattered more. I wanted the bags, but I needed to get to where I was going more. And sometimes God places us in positions where we must choose between carrying everything and moving forward. Children of Israel had to leave Egypt. The disciples had to leave nets. Elisha had to leave oxen. Matthew had to leave the tax table. Paul had to leave prestige. Sometimes progression requires separation. Sometimes destiny demands a departure. Sometimes purpose requires release. Somebody on this broadcast is carrying yesterday into tomorrow. Old wounds, old disappointments, old habits, old relationships, old baggage. And God is saying you can't carry everything into your next season. Some things have to stay behind, because not because they weren't valuable. All the stuff in my bag is valuable, but my purpose was more valuable. What I've discovered is that God takes generosity personally. Solomon says, whoever is generous to the poor lends to the Lord. Now, I thought about it. How can you lend to God when he owns everything? The earth, cattle, gold, silver, all of that belongs to him. So how can I lend anything to God? Well, here's the answer. God identifies himself with people. So deeply does God care about hurting people that God says, when you bless them, I take it personal. When you feed them, that's why we had to keep our kitchen open today. It says, when you feed them, I receive it. When you help them, I receive it. When you encourage them, I receive it. When you visit them, I receive it. When you care for them, I receive it. And this is why ministry matters. This is why our community kitchen matters. This is why outreach and mentoring and checking on people, it all matters, because every act of kindness touches the very heart of God. Now, here's where God challenged me on the plane. The greatest generosity may not be money. See, many of us read Proverbs 19 and 17. We immediately think about finances. but generosity is much bigger than finances. Money is not the most valuable thing you possess. Time is. Money can return, time cannot. Money can be replaced, time cannot. These bags, I'll get them when I get back, or maybe somebody will bring them. But the flight could not. You see, time is love measured. You can tell me you love me, but if you never spend time with me, eventually your words become hollow because love is measured in time. You can tell your children you love them, but love must become time. You can tell your spouse you love them, but love must become time. You can tell God you love him, but love eventually becomes time. And one of the purest forms of our generosity is attention. When you stop scrolling and listening, when you put down the phone and engage, when you sit beside someone grieving, when you visit someone in the hospital, when you mentor a young person, when you answer a midnight call, when you spend an hour helping someone who cannot repay you, you are practicing Proverbs 19 and 17. And here's what I have discovered in 32 years of living. Some people need you more than your money. Sometimes people don't need a check. They need your presence. The lonely need presence. The grieving need presence. The discouraged need presence. The struggling need presence. The elderly need presence. The sick need presence. The forgotten need presence. Jesus understood this. That's why he stopped for blind Bartimaeus. He stopped for Zacchaeus. He stopped for children. He stopped for lepers. He stopped for the woman with the issue of blood. He was generous with his time because love always makes room. And sometimes it'll look like a loss, but really, God wants you to know it's an investment. What looks like a loss is really an investment. And this is why he says, whoever is generous to the poor lends to the Lord. Now, a loan is not a loss. A loan is an investment. God says generosity is not throwing something away. It's placing it in my hands. Somebody type it. It's in his hands. The world says it's losing, but God calls it lending. The world calls it sacrifice. God calls it sowing. The world calls it giving up. God calls it investing. When you invest in people, you invest in eternity. When you invest in ministry, you invest in eternity. When you invest in compassion, you invest in eternity. When you invest in God's kingdom, you invest in eternity. And let me close with this. God never defaults. He will repay. God says, I saw it, I recorded it, I know about it, I ain't forgot it, I will repay. Not always in money, sometimes in peace, in favor, in strength, in protection, in opportunities, in relationships, in open doors and blessings you never saw coming. Somebody can testify. God repaid. A door open, a burden lifted, a prayer answered, a need supplied, a child protected, a sickness healed, a mind kept, a marriage sustained. God knows how to repay. Can't nobody repay like God. So listen, my next flight is about to leave, but I learned something in the first one. I can get the bags later. I can replace clothes later. I can buy shoes later. I can recover my possessions later, but I could not recover that flight this morning because time was moving. And maybe that's the word for you today. Stop spending your life protecting baggage. Start investing your life in what matters most. Be generous with your resources, your encouragement, your compassion, your service, your love, your time. Because one day the flight will leave for all of us. And when that day comes, nobody will ask how many bags you carried. They'll ask what you did with the time God gave you. And the good news is, whatever you place in God's hands by blessing someone else, it's never lost. It's a loan to God. And you can't beat God-given, no matter how hard you try. Father, thank you for this opportunity to hear your word, even through the experiences of life. And help us to know we can't carry everything. In Jesus' name, Amen. Listen, if you were blessed on today, I need you to do two things real quick. Number one, pray for me as I travel. Number two, share this broadcast. Number three, I want everybody that can do a seed of 1917. Do it via Cash App. Even if you want to do 19 plus 19 or 119, do it real quick. We're going to do it via Cash App. $ Ignite CDM. $ Ignite CDM. I love you. God bless you. Nothing you can do about it. Be blessed.
I have discovered evil wants to overtake me. I'm encouraged to keep His light shining in me. No longer bound beneath the load of guilt and shame. And if you're in darkness, He can bring a change. Ignite your flame. Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed. Lift your voice. Stand and proclaim. Lift your voice. Prove what God can do. What God can do. Show others He lives in you. Lives in you. Oh, ignite your flame. This is what I want you to do. Oh, ignite. Ignite your flame. I believe you can do it. Listen, I know it may seem hard right now, but I discovered that evil, but I'm encouraged. I've got to keep the light shining. No longer bound beneath the load. And if you're in darkness, I know He can make a change. Make a change. Don't be ashamed. Stand and proclaim. Be living proof what God can do. He wants to use you. He can give you a brand new start. It's never too late. Just get up from where you are. Tell Him, Lord, I'm available to you. I'll do what you say do. You can have your way. Tell Him, have your way. Oh, let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Shine in me. Your guiding light. Your saving light. Let it shine in me. Let it shine in me. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Reach beyond your situation